Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Chronicle update for Phasmophobia. So this is currently version 0.13. This dropped yesterday on the 24th of June. I've had many hours with this new update. There's some things I like and there's some things I don't like. I'm sure everyone else has got their own opinion of it. Some people might love it. Some people might hate it. Um, I'm sort of mixed. There's some things I do like and there's quite a few things I don't like. So I've got the transcript here next to me. This is on Kinetic Games. This is the full breakdown of the new Chronicle update. I'm not going to go through everything word for word. I'm just going to pick out a couple of things, give my own opinion on it. Um, Obviously, if you want to read the full transcript, then jump over to Kinetic Games and you can read it at your own leisure. So starting off with media, if I open my book and I'm on the media tab, you can see I've got media for photos, media for videos, and media for sounds. So how photos work now is you've gone from 10 photos down to 5, and there's certain things you can photograph and a lot of things you can't photograph anymore. So new types of photos can be gathered and EMF reading on an EMF reader, and 3 ghost forms, physical, dots, and shadow. So whereas before, if you took a photo of the ghost and then tried to take a photo of it in dots or a shadow, the second photo won't count. I believe now if you got all 3, you'll get a monetary reward for those 3 photos. So looking at things that you can't take photos of anymore is light switches, door movements, thrown objects, or ghost interactions. So the way I explain this is anything that the ghost can interact with, you can't take a photo of it anymore. You can still take photos of a burnt crucifix. Surprisingly, ghostwriting you can still take a photo of, and you can take a photo of a ghost assassinating a player. And cursed objects, you can still take photos of those, and your bone, you can take a photo of those. But unfortunately, you can't take a photo of, say, a candle being blown out. You can't take that anymore, or light switches, or door movements. So moving on to videos. So a total of 5 videos can be gathered in a single investigation. To capture video footage, players will need to hold down the use button while aiming the camera at the spot they wish to record. A new icon will display on the video camera, encouraging the players to record. So what will happen is, if you have the video camera in your hand, you'll see on the screen a little white box with lettering prompting you to say dots, ghost orb, interaction. That's your cue to then start recording. Unfortunately, there is no grace period. So whereas before with the photo system, you had a grace period that you could take a photo of something that the ghosts interacted with, and you would still get a 3-star photo for it. Unfortunately, there is no grace period for video recording. So if you miss it, you miss it. Or if you do manage to catch it, you might not get a higher monetary reward for that piece of evidence. So I know a lot of times something might be going on, and I admit it, there's been times I've missed a lot of things that the ghost has done or interacted with. If it's outside your peripheral vision, you're not going to notice it's happened. So looking at things that you can now record is a hunting ghost, a ghost triggering crucifix, ghost orbs, thrown objects, doors being moved, ghosts interacting with objects, rocking chairs, things like that. A light source shattering, ghost blowing out a candle or fire, and more to discover. So, things like using the Ouija board, you can record that. Ghost writing in the book, you can record that. Ghost assassinating a player just because it's an evil git, you can record that as well. And you can also still take photos, like I said, for the ghost writing book, player being dead, and obviously all the rest of the cursed objects. So there's 2 things there that fall into video and also photos as well. So if you are struggling for media, just remember, oh, I can get a video of that. Oh, I can also take a picture of it as well. Then we move on to sound. So they have implemented a sound recorder into the game. So obviously you get tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I will go over those. So it just states here that you have 3 sound recordings per contract. Okay, and it just says here the sound recorder can capture the below sounds during investigation: paranormal sounds, a hunting ghost, a singing ghost event, a spirit box response, and more to discover. So I've used the sound recorder quite a lot, especially yesterday, just to try and get a feel for it and how it works. I'm going to be brutally honest. It's very easy to capture photos and video recordings. Getting the sound recordings, especially on a bigger map, it is a pain. It's an absolute pain to try and do it. There had been many a time that I would get 1, maybe 2, and before I could even get the third one, I've already been in the game for 20 minutes, and all the incidents have been used up, not just by me, but other players, and I end up dying. Getting the sound recordings is very hard. Well, I find it difficult. I'm sure there's people out there that somehow mastered it and can get all 3 very quickly. But yesterday's, especially paying for the amount of time that I did and with friends, even they found it difficult to get sound recordings. And when you do get sound recordings, I found yesterday that I would mainly get in whispers, the ghost speaking, or some form of interaction like the ghost laughing at me. I didn't try it with spirit box response. That's the only thing I haven't tried it with, and I haven't really encountered a singing event that much. When the ghost is hunting, I tried that, and I can tell you now, shit don't work. I don't know if that's just me, but I could not get it to record while the ghost was hunting because it would just interfere with the electronics. Someone else might have tried it and they've probably got it to work, but me personally, it just wasn't working. So now we look at CCTV. So they've overhauled the camera system inside the truck. It's no longer an outdated IBM PC. It is now a sleek looking flat screen tablet. I suppose that's how you can say it, or monitor. Either way. So they state here the CCTV interface has been split into 3 sections: CCTV cameras, video cameras, and head cameras. So at the very top, you'll see CCTV, you'll see video cameras in the middle, and head cameras to the right of that. It says here that the player can view up to 5 different live feeds at once. You can't. So if you say you had 5 cameras inside the map, on the right hand side you would see, yes, all 5 live feeds in a very, very small box. Depending on how big your TV is, it might be a little bit more bigger. Obviously those are live feeds, but you can only record on 1 camera at a time. So you can't set all 5 cameras to record, it's only 1 camera. So you have to constantly flicking back and forth, back and forth. One thing I do like is the night vision mode has had some major improvements. It doesn't look as grainy and it looks a lot more sleek and a lot more visible, especially in night vision mode. I do like the fact with the CCTV camera as well, you can zoom in and zoom out. Unfortunately, I wish they put that feature on the video cameras themselves, because it's common sense that video cameras are able to zoom, and same for photo cameras, they can zoom. Maybe later on down the line they could probably do that, but for the CCTV cameras in the map, yes, you can zoom in and out. So bigger maps like Sunny Meadows, yeah, it's great having that ability to zoom. Whereas something like camp, you just zoom in and yeah, it just makes that area just look a little bit more bigger. So we're just going to look over unique media. As it goes, before we look at unique media, I just want to touch back on the CCTV. Okay, so whereas I mentioned with a video recorder that you can record interactions that the ghost is doing, In the truck, that is a lot more easier. So we found yesterday playing multiple games that having someone in the truck, i.e. Van Princess, which I now actually have got use, it was more easier to record what the ghost is doing than trying to pick up the camera and start recording. So I think moving forward, especially with the new playstyle, is best to probably just put your cameras down and just monitor the cameras. Select a certain camera if it's in the ghost room, just press the record button once. You haven't got to do anything more than that. It will automatically start recording any movement or interactions that the ghost is doing in that room. So moving on to unique media. Okay, so whereas before we had the 3-star system, that's now gone. So for every piece of evidence that you gather in terms of media, you'll get a uniqueness for it. If you were to take that same photo or video twice, it will come up as a duplicate. So a duplicate will give you less monetary reward than what a unique media piece of evidence would give you. So for example, if I was to say take a video capture of the ghost hunting and someone who was inside the map doing the exact same thing, I would say get $10 for that. For the duplicate, you'd get $1 or $2. So that's how that sort of works. You'll get a monetary reward for it, but it's a lot less than what the unique piece of media that you captured is the first time, if that makes sense. So now we can delete up to 3 pieces of media, whereas before we could only delete 2. And they've overhauled the rewards and progression system. So it says here, using higher tier of photo camera, video camera, and sound recorder will reward players with additional monetary bonus per piece of media. $1 for tier 2, $2 for tier 3. All media rewards are now included in the reward multiplier. So that's correct. You do get a little bit more of a reward bonus for higher tier items. Progression. Equipment and their corresponding tiers are now unlocked earlier. Tier upgrades are now unlocked in groups of 2 or 3, giving players the choice of which upgrade path they wish to follow. For example, Crucifix Tier 3 and Incense Tier 3 are both available to unlock at level 80 instead of 90 and 85. So that's something I do like, that they've moved the goalpost for some of the unlocks for the equipment. So I'm sure many people are aware, you grind and grind and grind and grind, get to level 90, hey, congratulations, you can now buy this tier 3 crucifix, grind for another tier levels, and it says, hey, do you want a prestige? You go, yes, please, thank you. And then you're back to 0, and you lost all your money. And for me, that was always frustrating. That is the reason why I will not grind anymore. I will not prestige any higher than what I am. I'm happy where I am. I just want to start enjoying the game a lot more now than being in that grind. Don't get me wrong, there are some people out there that will probably grind all the way up to level 20. Yeah, it's not for me anymore. I just want to enjoy the game. I'm happy where I am. So for people that are struggling to, climb that ladder in terms of skill and experience, you will find it a lot more easier now to unlock the equipment that you want, because obviously they've lowered the that unlock on say like the crucifix that's tier 3 and incense tier 3. So that I'm okay with. I don't mind that. In terms of rewards, so I found yesterday, even when I and the people I play with managed to get a perfect game, it felt like you got less compared to what you were getting before in terms of reward bonus for a perfect game. Like I said, if you were getting a $20 ghost photo or video and $10 this, then yeah, you'll probably you'll see that you are making more. But again, it's very hard, and most of the time you're just probably going to get a $5 or $3 reward per media. So in my opinion, it does feel like you're getting less than what you did before. Other people might think that no, it's the complete opposite. I'm getting more, but no, that's not what I think. I think you're getting less, and especially trying to get a perfect game. It's a lot harder now. It is a lot harder. Before, I'm sure people know this, that within 10 minutes of being in a game, you've already got a perfect game. Now you're in a game a lot longer. Taking the photos, getting the video recordings, like I said, the video recordings, if you're in the truck, then yeah, that's going to be easy, very easy to do. But the sound recordings, that's hard. It's really hard to get the sound recordings, and hopefully I can show this in the video, just so you know it's not going to be easy. Anyway, moving on. So challenges and optional objectives, that's all changed now. So your optional objectives, you're going to start seeing things like get a sound recording of the ghost. They've added the new media type into that. That's all that is. Okay. Just looking at some other things. Obviously, we've got a new UI interface. Oh, that sounds a bit redundant. I said UI interface. UI for the main menu. Obviously now we can see clearly single player, multiplayer and training with a nice photo for each one of those. One thing I do like, and I wish they'd done this a long time ago, is if we go into multiplayer.
I've gathered a list of other hunters asking for help.
You can now see what lobbies are playing in terms of XP. That's one thing I wish they did a long time ago, especially when I started playing the game. And you can also now do filters, so you can do casual, hardcore, roleplay, default, custom, challenge, VR microphone. Roleplay, can someone please tell me how the hell you roleplay in Phasmophobia? Seriously, someone tell me. Write in the comments how you roleplay in Phasmophobia, because I am intrigued. In terms of requirements, I like the fact that they've now put a filter in there for microphone, so you can select to have it for people with or without microphones, whereas before it was such a pain being in the lobby and you and Joe Bloggs were the only two, you're the only two people with a mic, and you're playing charades with the other two guys all night. So I'm happy they've actually put that feature in, and I wish they put this in a long time ago. Same goes for now. You can see what people are playing in terms of XP. So whereas before you would jump into a lobby, someone might be playing on 15 times, someone might be playing on amateur, and you're back and forth between different lobbies before you settle on a game. This now makes it a lot more easier to see what you want to play, and you can just hopefully jump straight in and get into a game. One thing I wish they did or could have added is instead of you jump into a lobby and then you back out, but then you've got to go back through multiplayer, is that if you just jump out, you're still in the multiplayer screen. That's one thing I wish that they did. But unfortunately, no. It would just make it so much easier, in my opinion. Again, you never know, later on down the line they might do that. Let's see what else they've done. Oh, so they've added in new sounds. So this is going to be a part of the later update for Horror 2.0. So they've already added in the sounds now, and that's going to coincide with that update, I think, which is next year. And whereas before, when I started playing the game the first time, yeah, it was a little bit jarring and sometimes scary. After a while, you get used to it. Now, holy crap. Yesterday, I nearly jumped out my skin, especially with some of the new sounds that they've put in and what the ghost can interact and sounds it can make. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that's probably paid this update. They probably know what I'm on about. For the people that haven't, yeah, you've got a rude awakening coming your way. They've ramped up the atmospheric horror to a 12. So that's pretty cool. Even the people I was playing with yesterday were freaking out. And these are people that's probably been playing a lot longer than I have. What else have they added in? Oh, you probably see at the bottom there, Twitch drops. So you can now drop into Twitch and watch your favorite streamers playing Phasmophobia. Why would you want to do that when you can just play it yourself? I'm sorry, I'm not a Twitch user. You can hate me all you want for that, but I'm not a Twitch user. There is, from now, I think, through to July, for a short period of time, if you watch 2 hours of Twitch, you can unlock a Twitch player badge. Some of my friends have it. I question their morals on it. Why? Don't get me wrong, it's a nice looking badge. It's purple and black, and you know I like purple and black. But yeah, I'm not going to sit there for 2 hours and watch someone when I can play the game for 2 hours and probably have more fun. So yeah, that's just me. There might be people out there that might like Twitch or love Twitch. I don't get it that much myself. Anyway, what else have they changed? Oh, trophy cabinets. So if I just back out and turn around, ta-da! So I'm sure you're aware before you would have these two would be full of items. Well, I wouldn't say full of items, but would have some items in there in terms of trophies. And these two would be bare as the day you were born. Now, you can see we've got all the ghost types in there that you have encountered. Again, this is going to be different for everybody. Some people might not have found every ghost type because they're still new to the game. For other people, I'm sure, would be like mine. And then you've also got your achievements. I believe it's your achievements. They're here as well. One thing I did stumble across yesterday, and I don't know if you can see it now, but you can see I can interact with that trophy cabinet. So if I was to press R2, I can look at my trophies. And how cool is that? I just stumbled across that yesterday. I don't know if that's always been something that you could do, but yeah, I just stumbled across that yesterday. So yeah, and out of all of these, I just love that mimic school down there. That thing's just having a rave. It don't care what other people think. It's just doing its own thing. I love that. One thing I have noticed is where are my, and I'm sure other people are going to have the same thought process. Where are my apocalypse trophies? Because they used to be in the cabinet. Now, granted, I've only got two, and I haven't got the third one. But yeah, I just don't know where they are now. I don't know where they've been moved to. Obviously, again, you've still got all the same things you had before from the collection of the cursed items. But yeah, I just like the fact now that you can actually press R2. Excuse me. Press R2 and you can see what you've got. Like I said, I don't know if that was always a thing or that's just something they've put in there now. But I've never really noticed it and tried. Okie dokie. So yeah, let me just go over the new sound recording equipment. So let's go over here, go to the shop. You're going to see it's just above the tripods now. That's where they've slotted that into. So you've got your tier 1, your tier 2 and your tier 3. So your tier 1 sound recorder has a distance or range of 3 meters. Your tier 2 has a range of 5 meters and a digital screen. And tier 3, range of 5 meters, a digital display screen, a distance indicator, and directional indicator. Okay, so let me break this down for you if you haven't used these yet. Tier 1, if you look at that photo there, you can see there's a row of lights on the right hand side of that tape recorder. So the way that works is when you're in that 3 meter proximity, you will need to start following those lights. So if you're going in the right direction, those lights will start to go up and up and up. So they start from red, go to amber, then go to green. When they get into green, that's when you can hit record and start recording. So again, you would turn it on just like any other equipment, and then you hold down the use button and you can start recording. Tier 2, yes, you have a nice little digital display screen. So what will happen is you will start to see interaction on the screen in the form of a wave pattern. So the closer you are, that wave pattern will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's when you can start recording, because obviously that's when the ghost is talking smack about you or your family member. Tier 3, pretty much the same as Tier 2, except for you get a nice little indicator on the screen in the form of a wheeled compass or a spoked wheel, which is basically acts as a compass. So it'll point you in the right direction to where you're going. Now, I've tried all 3 of these, and even with the Tier 3, you still struggle to get sound recordings. And most of the time, it's a pain in the ass because you're literally in the direction of where it's coming from, but you are blocked by, say, like a wall, and the ghost is probably outside having smoko and taunting you, and you can't do anything about it because even though you're within the range, and again, it just works like Tier 2, so you're going in the right direction, you're waiting for that wave pattern to get bigger and bigger and bigger before you can start recording. You could start heading in that direction, realize I can't go that way, and then you've lost that signal. So that's a big pain. Even on some of the bigger maps, still struggled. Smaller maps, you do fine. If I would say anything, Tier 1 on a small map, brilliant. Tier 1's fine. Works perfectly. Flawless. I think when I tried this yesterday, just trying them out for the first time, Tier 1 on Tanglewood, I literally walked through the door, lights went green immediately, I could start recording. So, Tier 1 is unlocked at level 4. Okay. Tier 2, I can't remember. I just bought it. But the Tier 3 is level 60. So, level 4 for Tier 1, level 60 for Tier 3, and I can't remember what it was for Tier 2, unfortunately. Anyway, we'll jump into a game, and I'll just show you how some of the media works, and especially how the sound recorder works. Again, you might have already played this. You might be like, I already know, which is good. Good for you. If you know, you know. For the people that don't know, this is why I'm making that video. So one thing I'm just going to put on is Friendly Ghost. I'm just putting that on for testing purposes. Okay, so go to Quick Management. So I will show you. Do I show you Tier 1 or Tier 3? Let me show you Tier 3 sound recorder, because the Tier 1 is pretty much self-explanatory. You know where you're going because obviously you're just following the light system. So it works a bit like the level 2 EMF. Same sort of principle.
Alright, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation. report this time. Be careful. You're going in blind.
Okay, thank you. So this is how your board looks now. So the top row for your video captures, middle row photos, bottom row sound recordings. And obviously this is the new interface for the CCTV, which, like I said, I think it's a lot more better. As I was saying, you've got CCTV there to the left, video camera in the middle, head cameras to the right. Obviously you can do the pan from here, you can do the night vision on and off from here, and you can hit record obviously when you have a camera in place, and then there's your inputs there for your head cameras or for your video cameras. The CCTV camera, like I said, is the only one that you can zoom with. And it's not a bad zoom, to be fair, it's pretty good. The image is still pretty clear, but you can't zoom with a video camera, unfortunately. Let's have a look. So yeah, I'm going to get the sound recorder, which are here. Oh, I forgot to mention that they've also implemented now an auto aim system. So as you can see, my cursor will automatically snap onto, within reason, anything I want in the van. So it just makes picking up that piece of equipment a lot more easier. Keys, doors opening up, and so forth. Unfortunately, there's a downside to that, because if you drop said piece of equipment on the floor and you go to pick it up, there is a high chance you could pick up the wrong item, because it will automatically snap onto that, which is yeah, it can be a nuisance. But so far I'm liking the auto aim. It might not be for everybody. It's a bit like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. I'm going to like it. Anyway, got my sound recorder, got my camera. Obviously now you get a nice little audio cue with your video camera. I get head torch, because I don't know how dark this is going to be. Yeah. Okay, so see if we get any orbs. Anything at all. Again, I'm just doing this for showing you guys how things work now. I'm not worried about getting the ghost right, because I'll probably just back out of this anyway, because I'm not going to get anything for it. I just want to show you how collecting evidence is done now and what you get for said piece of evidence. Let's get an EMF reader in a minute. Knowing my luck, I've probably got a shade just to annoy me. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's get that fire on. There we go. I'm sorry if the video looks a little bit dark. I have boosted my brightness. Let's just see if I can boost it any more. Video. Yeah, I'm already at 192. Let's bump it to 203. There we go. But for some bizarre reason, it still looks dark. But then for some bizarre reason, sometimes it looked too bright. So I have no idea what's going on with that at the minute. Come on, Mr. Ghost or Mrs. Ghost. Mrs. Ghost. Come on, Anne. Show yourself. Where are you, Anne? Are you in here? Oh, maybe. 14 degrees. Come on out, Anne. Show yourself. I only want to say hi. 14.6. Alright, calm down. Oh, one thing I will say. You think hiding in these work anymore? They don't. You can no longer hide in the tents, which is a bummer, because that's how I would do my XP farming, especially on the high levels, was hiding in those tents and guessing the ghosts. You can no longer do that. So it's a shame about that one, unfortunately, but I'm sure people will find a new glitch somewhere on other maps. But yeah, it's just, I thought I'd let you know that you can't do that anymore. You can't hide in the tents. And that's just not for this camp map, it's also for the other camp as well. If it ain't going to work on one, it's not going to work on the other. Is that the bone? Oh, I said sure. Thank you very much. 13. Seriously, where are you? You're over here. Finally. Thank you very much. Now, where did I put my goddamn camera? There we go. There we go. Now we know where she is. See no ghost orbs. So, yeah. So I'm holding down the record button now, so you can see the little record icon. So if she was to do anything, obviously that will record. Come on, Anne. Give me something, Anne. No, you're not going to do anything now. You got no shy on me. Oh, there we go. So I've caught something on the video camera. So if I go to my media tab, there you go. Ghost orbs, $10. And it's unique. So if I was to get the same video again, I would get less money for that. Okay. So let me just show you. Where did I put it? Ah, there we go. Will you stop breathing on me with your bad breath? Seriously, have a mint once in a while. So, you would think I'm in the area of the ghost. The ghost is throwing stuff at me that I should automatically get some form of notice that I can start recording for voices. But no. And this is the problem. You could literally be sat right on top of the ghost. Nothing. You walk away, or you're in a completely different area. That's when you can start recording noises that the ghost makes. And like I said, sometimes you'll be walking around. Oh, see, there you go. Look, I've got a. There you go. There you go. There we go. Got it. Yeah. Sometimes you could be walking around and you'll probably get a response nowhere near the ghost room. But lucky enough, that was actually pretty close. I'll give you that one. So yeah, as you can see then, when I was using the voice recorder, that little wheel came up at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And I was just following that in terms of the direction. And then you can see the wave pattern getting bigger and bigger and bigger. To the point I could actually, thank you, hear it, that I could record that noise. So if I go over to sounds, there you go, I've got a value of 5, tier bonus 2, and I can play it back. So that's counted that as paranormal groaning. How is that paranormal groaning? That literally sounds like she's got gas, hiccups. But what you can get is also the ghost talking to you sometimes and sometimes it might be gibberish, and sometimes they might tell you just to straight up get the hell out. And what's this going to be? Go on, Anne. Give me something. Give me something else, Anne. There we go. There we go. See? Straight up laughing. Thank you very much. Whatever I said must amuse you. Fortunately, you don't amuse me. So yeah, paranormal laughing. There we go. Now, I've only ever able to get a value of 5 each time, no matter what I do for the voice recording. There might be a higher value rate. Maybe if the ghost is singing, the ghost is hunting, that may give you a higher rate. But every time I've seen to it, I've been getting $5. Well, 7 if you include the tier bonus. So I just want to show you how the camera works on here now. And then I think we'll wrap it up from there. So as you can see, video camera, it will still show the CCTV, but if I go to video 1, there you go. See the object being thrown? So I've hit that record button now. So if I would have hit that a little bit earlier, it would have automatically recorded that footage. So I can just leave that as it is now. I could be a van princess, I can go and put the kettle on, I can make a cup of tea, I could have a sandwich, I could go to work, come back, and it would do everything for me. So this is where I said moving forward, I think players have got to be a little bit more conscious of what they're doing. And I think moving forward, this is the way you're going to see a lot of people doing it now, is running into the area. There you go, look, see, just recorded, someone being thrown. Running into the area, placing down as many cameras as they can, and just come back to the van and get their evidence that way. And it is a lot easier doing it that way, instead of being in the danger zone with the camera in your hand and you'll miss something. This is going to be the way forward doing it now, and we found it's a lot easier doing it this way as well. So go over there. So you can see there, I've got value of $5 and tier bonus for an object being thrown and unique. But then I've also got the exact same thing with there, and it's a duplicate. So that's something you have to be conscious about, especially if you're going to be in a van, is that you will end up with duplicates, but you can delete them. Remember, you can only delete up to 3 though. That's across all types of media, it's just 3. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much it. Obviously, photos are self-explanatory. Let's go, let me just take a camera in. One thing, before I leave, one thing you can no longer take photos of is salt. So the ghost interacting with salt, walking through the salt, you can no longer take a photo of that. That is solely done on the video camera, and I will show you why. If we can see it. Right, see that there, those sparks? So if I was to take a picture of that, value 0. So for salt now, you have to take it and record it through the video camera, and you can only do that once, because if you do it 3 times, obviously you're going to end up with 2 duplicates and get less money. So again, this is why I said they've made getting a perfect game a lot harder, whereas before I and my friends or Joe Blog can take 3 photos of the salt each and get a perfect game. Now you can only take 1 video recording of the salt being disturbed. That's it. Like I said, there you go, EMF reader. I think before you could take a picture of the EMF reader, but I think it was only a EMF 5 and that was counted as interaction. But now you can take it at any level. Oh, hello, love. Did I get that? Probably not. No, I missed out. So again, see, look, even though I hit the record button, I completely missed it. But if I had that set up like that and I was in the van, I would have got it. So again, no grace period for trying to record with a video camera. And you've seen how quick I was to quickly start recording, and she just disappeared. So yeah, I think that's going to be about it, guys, really. All I can say is just go out there, experiment, try different things, and obviously let me know what you find is the best way of trying to get perfect investigation now, or what you found that you can take photos of, or what you can record, or what you can't. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.